Hey everyone, welcome to another live streaming meditation with Healthy Minds Innovations. And if you don't know, Healthy Minds Innovations is a nonprofit associated with the Center for Healthy Minds, which is one of the leading organizations in the neuroscience of well-being. And so the whole idea is to sort of translate that evidence-based understanding of what it means to flourish and thrive as a human being into useful tools like live streaming meditations and the Healthy Minds program app and the masterclass and all the other stuff we've got going on. So it's a joy to be here. Our theme is cultivating compassion, which can feel kind of heady and esoteric. But all compassion really means is, wishing for ourselves and wishing for others to be free from, the shackles that lie within the human condition, which are real and they're things we all face. And that last piece is something we can forget. We can forget that we all face these challenges, right? That something about the human condition results in us, dealing with certain challenges, and we're all dealing with them in one way or another. And often the people who challenge us, if you really kind of look into the situation, they're just trying to be happy. They're just trying to suffer less. And that's manifesting in a way that's rubbing against you. And that's actually what's making them very challenging for you. So there's a lot of different ways and practices that people explore this. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a 10-minute practice. Actually, we're going to do a 15-minute practice. So we're going to dive right in. But just so you have an idea of where we're going, we're going to start with, I always like to start with a kind of open awareness, which we're going to frame as compassion for ourselves, like letting ourselves take a break. And then we're going to start to bring to mind perhaps an individual that we care about that could use a little bit of compassion. And then we will have the option to work with a challenging person. And so if you're new to this kind of thing, it'll be an option that you probably don't want to take. But if you have some experience with these practices, you might dip your toes or step into that fully and see how it goes. Before we get started, I always love to see a hello in the chat. Gives me a sense that you're there. Gives me an idea that I'm not just talking at a computer for no reason. There's some people on the other end, and that really helps me out. Hi, David. I see you. Said hi from Chicago. I wonder if you have as much snow as we do up here in Toronto. If so, take a walk in it. Enjoy. Hey, Christine. I see you there. That's wonderful. Always great. See some familiar names. And there's Robert in Cincinnati. Wonderful, wonderful. So cool. I spend a lot of time railing on technology just in kind of my work. It's always a good reminder to remember how incredible technology is as well, that we've got Kira, hi Kira, in Munich, and Lola in Denmark, and Jess in Madison, Wisconsin. We got, we're connected in this moment, and we're about to be connected in our shared compassion practice. So let's do that. Oh, we have Maria in Madrid. I've never been to Madrid, but I have been to Spain, and I'm sure it's all that beautiful. A couple of feet of snow, yeah. A lot of snow coming down. It's the winter of our discontents. Warming up in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Beautiful. Okay, thank you so much for those messages. It makes me really feel connected with you. So let's get into a comfortable position, whatever feels natural to you. We're going to be practicing for 15 minutes starting now. If you don't really know what position to be in, I recommend something that feels upright and alert, yet also calm and relaxed. So maybe stretching that spine up, reaching into the sky with the top of your head, tilting your head forward a bit so the back of your neck opens up, and then maintaining that upright stance while also relaxing your shoulders and your jaw, relaxing the muscles of your face and around your eyes, closing your eyes if that's something you like to do. Letting go of the chest and the belly, putting your hands somewhere comfortable, letting them rest. Let the weight fall onto your lap. Noticing gravity pulling your weight into your cushion or chair or bed or feet, and noticing contact with the ground. Fully reminding yourself here that you are a physical body. So you can just sort of feel that body, feel what it's like to be a body. Let that anchor you before we rush into any kind of practice. It can be helpful to take a few deep breaths if that's something you know relaxes you. I like to sort of extend the exhale a little bit, kind of downshift my nervous system. So taking a deep breath in and then breathing out fully. Kind of emptying the chamber a little bit. We're not in any hurry here. Something ironic about rushing into a meditation, right? So just take it easy. Let's fully use these first few minutes to just do nothing at all. Let your mind flow naturally. Let your attention be pulled to whatever pulls it. No need to judge or criticize. Let it all happen. For these few minutes, everything is okay, exactly the way it is. In this moment, the idea of focus and distraction is a false dichotomy. Nothing is a distraction right now. Everything is okay. Your thoughts are okay. Discomfort in the body is okay. Find yourself naturally doing some practice you're used to, that's okay. Just sitting here thinking about what you had for lunch, that's okay too. No problem. Everything's fine. It's sort of an act of self-compassion to say, I'm just going to be free of all the resistance that comes up with the doing that we always do. Always doing. Always wrestling with reality, trying to change something about our situation, trying to fix a problem and find a solution. For these moments, we're free of all that. We're being compassionate to ourselves. We're wishing ourselves freedom from all that resistance by saying, you know what? Whatever's here is okay. That thought, it's not a distraction, it's okay. The position you've taken is not comfortable, feel a little tension or a little pain, it's okay, as long as you're not hurting yourself. You're always free to adjust, but it's okay. It's okay the way it is. The weather, maybe it's snowing where you are, maybe it's blindingly hot, maybe it's numb and neutral, it's okay. Whatever you're thinking about, whatever's going on at work, whatever's happening in the area where you live, whatever's going on in the media, the politics, the pandemic. For these few moments, just letting it all lie where it is. It's all okay. Sort of a radical act, right? Radical act of compassion to just say, not even just to say, to let yourself be free of all that for a few moments. Give yourself a true break. Not a break where you're trying and failing to relax and then berating yourself because you're not relaxing well enough. A true break. Whatever's here is fine. Just let it all happen. Keep it up. And by keep it up, I mean keep doing nothing. No need to try. No effort required. Except maybe that little ounce of effort to keep yourself upright if that's the position you've chosen. Other than that, just letting it all go. Big sigh, maybe. That's what I'm feeling right now. Just let it all happen. So much of our lives are full of resistance and constraint. So we do and we do and we fix and we achieve and we strive. And the beauty of this practice is we're not taking all of that baggage into our practice with us. Sometimes it feels like we treat our meditation as another item on the to-do list, and we need to achieve a perfect state of mind, and we need to do meditation, and we need to time it perfectly, and we need to do long enough, and we need to do it often enough. Just free yourself of all that. What does it feel like to just let go of any of that pressure and say, may I be free from all that resistance and all that friction and all that pressure. Release yourself from that burden in a radical act of compassion for yourself. The big C word, compassion, feels all abstract, maybe theoretical, maybe foreign or esoteric. And if so, just forget that word and use freedom instead, or use release, or whatever word feels right for you. See if you can get that idea, giving yourself permission to let go of all that conditioning and patterning that drives us to just keep doing. Just let go. Just let go. And then again, just let go. And again, let go in every moment. I was going to say great work, but it's really the opposite of work. So great play, I guess. Great play, everybody. Let's kind of see if we can add another ingredient to our stew here. So if doing nothing is exactly what you want to be doing, I encourage you to just continue doing that and ignore me for the rest of this meditation. If you're interested in extending the compassion practice, what I'd maybe ask you to do is see if you can bring to mind someone you care about, someone who you love, or someone who you have a lot of respect for, who might need a little bit of that freedom right about now, a little bit of a release, a little bit of a freedom from friction and resistance and letting go. So take a moment to bring someone to mind. See if you can bring them vividly into your mental image space, seeing them clearly, maybe even hearing their voice. Or if it's a non-human, animal of some kind, listening to their meow or their woof or any other, maybe their chirp. See if you can bring them to mind. See if you can redirect some of that same compassion, that same sense of wishing for freedom from resistance, that same sigh, that see if you can redirect that to this person you care about who might really need a big sigh. You might even picture them sighing, or picture them relaxing, or picture them smiling, or doing something that brings them a sense of balance. And see if you can use that as an anchor point to cultivate your own compassion for that individual in this moment. So again, pick someone who might need a little bit of freedom, a little bit of letting go. Bring them to mind in vivid clarity, and do whatever feels natural to offer them a big sigh, offer them a letting go, offer them a release and a freedom of suffering. You might even repeat a few words. The traditional words are things like, may you be free. Or maybe you might just pick a word like ease or freedom and repeat that. Or if the words feel kind of kooky to you, maybe try visualizing, picturing them in a state of relaxation and letting go. Or just feel it out. If none of that feels right, just feel it out. We're just experimenting. Stay open, stay curious, give it a shot. Offer them that big sigh. It's perfectly natural if you find your mind wanders to something else. And maintain that sense of ease as you notice what happened and come back to the task at hand. Just bringing this individual to mind who might need a little bit of well-wishing. Offer them whatever it is you have to give. Okay, good job. You can let go of that now. Or continue it if you'd like, actually, for the next minute. But if you're ready to try something a little bit different, I'll encourage you to pick someone who might be a little bit challenging for you, a little bit difficult for you, not the most challenging person in the world, not the most triggering person, maybe someone in between, unless you're used to this sort of thing. And see if you can do the same thing. See if you can notice that whatever that individual might be doing that irks you or bugs you or annoys you or really, triggers you, that maybe that's a manifestation of something they share with you, that they just want to be free, that they just want to be happy. And that's just how it's manifesting. See if you can find that common ground, that they're just like you, just like me, might be a word to say to yourself, just like me. We'll just do this for a minute to see if you can offer a little bit of compassion to a challenging person, someone who bugs you or annoys you or who you've had a recent conflict with. And if this is a little bit scary, feel free to abandon it and just relax for this last minute. Okay, nice job. Letting go of the practice, taking your time, transitioning out. Trying to carry that compassion forward. And maybe your first act of compassion coming out of the meditation is something your body needs, maybe a stretch or a sip of water or a deep breath. Let's take our time with that. Great. So thanks for practicing with me. Please feel free to share in the chat. I would actually invite everyone to share in the chat just a few words or a few sentences about what that experience was like for you. It may seem like, what's the point? I don't need to chat. But you never know. I certainly didn't cover everything that could have happened. And you never know who else in this room with us might really benefit from hearing what you experienced. Maybe it normalizes something for them. Maybe it answers a question that they might, sometimes it answers a question they didn't even know they had. So please share in the chat what you experienced if you have any questions. One thing I'll say is bringing compassion practice like this as an active practice, which is like a practice that we're actually carrying with us into the daily life. It can be so powerful, right? So it's one thing to sit here, with my eyes closed and say, just like me. But it's another thing where you're in a conflict with someone and you're like, you're charged up and you're like, some little part of you, and this has happened to me, like some little part of you is just like, they're just trying to be happy. I'm just trying to be happy. There's got to be a way for us to settle this, right? Like no one's intentionally trying to hurt someone here, right? Similarly, offering yourself that compassion after a busy day and saying, you know what, I can watch another episode on Netflix. It's not the end of the world. That's what I want to do. It's just, it's a very powerful practice. So let's see what's coming up in the chat here. So Tiz, I feel like calling my sister now. Oh, it's a perfect, thank you. A perfect example of just how this can translate into action. And I encourage all of you to follow Tiz's example and say, what act can I take to bring some of that compassion into the world? Christine, I can't believe I did that for a person I really don't like. I know. I don't know what else to say. I know that feeling very well. I think I'd like to do this daily. What a gift. I encourage you to do that. Absolutely. I work with myself. Liked a lot. Thanks, Beatrice. Thank you, Pat. I began to see my difficult person is just like me. It's a release. That's right. A release. That's right. It's like so easy to tell a story in our minds that antagonizes that other person. It's like, the neighbor is playing music too loud. And like, you've got this whole story about how they're selfish and they're an animal and they're a jerk. And then you're just like, wait a minute, it's just someone's trying to listen to music loud. Like, I know what that feels like. Sometimes I like to listen to music loud too. That doesn't mean you're not going to go knock on the door and be like, it's 11 o'clock, but you're going to treat it in a different way, right? Hectic week of doing, refreshing to be me for a time. Michael, that's great. BBB. Looking forward to seeing my neighbor again. Yeah, wonderful. I was looking at my brother in heaven. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Lola. I really appreciate that. Joined late after a jog, followed along while standing. Thanks for this moment. Thanks, everyone. So lovely to practice with you all. A couple of announcements. We've got a lot going on here. I want to make sure I get it right. On March 29th, there's going to be a webinar. So actually not a guided practice, but a bit of a teaching of some of the concepts and science behind this stuff called the How of Wellbeing. And that is going to be led by Dr. Richie Davidson, Cortland Dahl, and Christy. These are some of the researchers and leaders here at the center. And then we've got the Kickstart to Train Your Mind. Stephanie's going to be leading a kind of 30-day challenge. It's going to be, weekly sessions to build your meditation habit in just 30 days. That's starting on April 14th. We've got the links being shared in the chat. And then finally, I'm excited to announce that Stephanie and I are going to be teaching a Healthy Minds Masterclass this summer from July 6th to August 24th. So this is going to be an intensive. It's going to be an 8-week program with a weekly session. I think it's going to be multiple hour sessions. There's going to be kind of homework, ongoing training. So if you're really finding value in the Healthy Mind sessions and the approach and the app, I really encourage you to dive into the masterclass and go deep. I'd love to see you there, and we get to connect in person and chat. So looking forward to that. And please don't hesitate if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Bye-bye.